Good afternoon, everybody. Morning, rather, 11:30. Yeah, 11:30. I think we're about to squeeze. I want to talk about what this could look like real quick. So you already have this in the channel. I think this is the target. Now, whether we come back and back test after we hit the target back into this box or not, I do not know, but I believe either way it's going to be a buying scenario. If we don't back test it, there's a decent chance that like you want to be small here. Actually, you know what? Right here is where the resistance was this morning. Right here is where I think the target is, and I don't know if the re-entry comes off this target or not. And right here is the next target I believe is going to hit regardless, but the positioning for it's tough because I don't know if there's going to be a pullback. That being said, you don't need to play these with ES. Like, you can play these swings without playing ES, right? Specifically, Bitcoin. Is it bottomed yet? Not yet. We're not ready for Bitcoin. I already said I'm gonna inform people to buy Bitcoin soon. Not yet. It's close though, and I will pop into the channel if I get an alert while I'm talking here. So remember, ES is not capturing trend moves. You can, but typically people blow up their prop accounts being right. That's why we have swings, guys. Am I a psycho? Why do I think that this is going to go so high? Like, I have targets, up to about 8,300, 8,400 right now. If you look at my roadmap, this is where it's pointing. Why so high? Also, what will these pullbacks look like? If we overshoot today, I'll tell you the pullbacks are going to get shallow, and you're not going to have the ability to get in. And what you're going to do is start playing resistance to support flips to get back in. That's the way traders can outperform on rallies. You don't need to be all in. You can just be nimbly playing resistance clears and then taking up a level. But if we start cooking to the upside, I believe that we will really go. Why do I feel that way? A lot of things have a lot of upside here. Riot has an upside to mid-30s. That's been our target for a while. Mara has a humongous upside. We actually got in around 10. Look, now it's 14. Everything's good. When it was 10, were you nervous? You shouldn't have been. Look what happened. Look what happened when we got in. I want you to internalize this real quick before we move on. This was our buy right here around, wait, was it? Our buy was around $12, not 10. I apologize, guys. So our buy was on 12. It went down to 11.50. How did you feel when it went down to 11.50? Hopefully we've inoculated you to feeling nervous about every little move. Okay, so you don't have to do that. But our rebuy was down here. I recently sent out a rebuy for Riot. I think that's good. AMD is looking like it's going to squeeze again. Remember, when this AMD squeezes, I'm looking to take off of this short-term play immediately and add it to Mara to play the trend. We've already fired another bullet at Mara, averaging up from $12 or 10 something, and fired another bullet at 12. The goal is to average up into the trend because Mara is the next big trend, but I think Riot's going to pop. So I'm going to feed some Riot into Mara. I'm going to feed some AMD into Mara. That being said, Riot and Mara both high, Riot, Mara, everything I have here is a high time frame trade, right? So I'm always talking about the difference between low time frame trades and high time frame trades and how to treat them, namely how I move money around in the short term and also how I hedge. But the other thing is, look at Coin has a huge upside. We still expect upside to 360 on Coin. OXY hasn't even capitulated yet. You know, OXY is our hedge, and OXY can still bounce and capitulate. So let's leave that alert where it's at. So we have meta targets up here. We have a meta target that's all the way at 800. I can tell you my Bitcoin target, as you know, is about 115, 120. So how am I going to fade the market when everything has a bullish setup right now? The answer is I can't, but I do believe that the strength goes to crypto, which I mentioned that yesterday in the chat. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, look at all this move that we've gotten out of this, and crypto's been sideways for so long. Yeah, that's how leading and lagging legs work. They prime the pump for one, and then the other explodes, and then that's how you move your money back and forth. So if this is the move that you so desperately needed to be involved in, and you're worried that Bitcoin won't pump, then you are just unfortunately mistaken, and I will guide you through that process as long as you suspend disbelief. And if you decide to ignore me, that's okay. Watch and see, and we will catch you on the next one. Let's see what else we got going on. I already know about altcoins. OXY, Meta's got upside. Our new upside is again way up there. We can't sell. We can't assume the market's topping when our individual plays have a lot to go. Netflix has to bear flag into resistance to even set up the shorts. We have a lot of upside for Netflix. I don't want to play Netflix because it's crap, but I do want to set up the short later, and I suspect the market's going to pump until at least Netflix gets to 96. MVAX is looking good from the add hasn't moved yet, but we're flagging our upsides 50 for this. So to move from 9 to 50, that's a big move in the market. Nvidia looks good. It's probably going to hit another leg pump up just like this. Again, I'm not trading Nvidia at all. I'm just holding long term. MSTR, oh my gosh, it's so far down. Well, Bitcoin's down. MSTR and Bitcoin are the exact same chart, guys. When Bitcoin goes, MSTR will go. So fear not, worry not. Let this go. I believe that we are going to determine this afternoon whether this is the upside or this is the upside, and then react appropriately. If this is the upside, we're going to look for a high or low back here. And if this is the upside, we are going to expect a true lockout rally, and the recipient of that rally is likely going to be Bitcoin. Even though this is going to be a huge dramatic move, you can think of it like this. If this move happens like I'm talking about from right here, and we move up 10% in the stock market. Again, this is not a time-based thing. This is a price-based thing, right? So if I expect a big stock market squeeze like 10%, which is absolutely an insane thing to say, and I recognize that, I apologize in advance, but if I expect a stock market move of 10%, that's a big move, right? So why not play that? Well, because this is a 70% move on Bitcoin if we hit our targets, right? So it's not about what moves. Like, everybody's a winner when they're long in the right direction. The question is, how are you going to move your money around to capitalize on what's the biggest winner? That's why we're moving between AMD and crypto and all the other things that we've closed and opened, like gold and yada yada. You know, there's some continuity here because I constantly talk about the trades we've opened and closed, but suffice to say, we've been in and out of some trades, and the idea here is to capitalize and move money around at the appropriate time, because everybody can be right if they hold long enough, but can you capitalize on being right? That's what we're trying to do. So hopefully I gave you a good expectation on what to see next, and we will continue on from there. Take care, guys.